Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Let the Scribes Speak. I am your host, Gale Koy-George, and will be joining me today would be some people that are going to be talking to us about a book that is just yet to be released with 17 scribes around the nations, around the globe, around the world that have come together to write a particular book, a spectacular book, a book that has been ordained for such a time as this. And the wonderful thing is I am one of those contributors to the book, my stilettos, my pink stilettos. So we're going to be talking to the visionary today who is on the set. Amen. Apostle Larita Rice-Barnes. She's on board. She's on set with us. And we have got two of those other scribes who have contributed to the book. Their names are Dawn White. She's here as well. And then the mom of Apostle Larita Rice, who is Carolyn Rice-Smith. And you've got to tune in today because we're going to be talking with these scribes. We're going to be talking with the visionary, all who have contributed along with myself to bringing this book to pass, forming it, and to yet be released next week. It's going to be released on the set, Let the Scribe Speak. And I just want you to stay in tune because I'll be back with you in just a moment. Hi, welcome again back. And we are in tune to Let the Scribe Speak. And I'm your host. If you've just joined us, I invite you to just come and invite a few of your friends and tell them Let the Scribe Speak is on and it's a spectacular day. So I just want to bring in my guests and then give them an opportunity to introduce themselves to you. And we will take it from there. The one and only Apostle Larita Rice-Barnes, you are welcome on the set of Let the Scribe Speak.
Thank you. I'm glad
it's going to be exciting. I'm bringing them on one by one. And our mom is here.
Yeah.
Our mom is here as well. Welcome, Mommy Carolyn Rice-Smith.
Thank you.
It's great to have you with us and Let the Scribe Speak.
I am so honored to be here.
And no other than the one and only Dawn. All right, Dawn is here with us as well. So I'm so happy that you all are joining me today on the set of Let the Scribe Speak. I am excited. I am excited like always. But what makes this extra exciting is because I am part of this project. And this is a nation project, is a worldwide project. It's a project that is all over the world. So I just want you to take a moment and just share, and then I would keep the ball, just let the ball continue to roll. Those of you joining us for the very first time, you're on the set of Let the Scribe Speak. And what is Let the Scribe Speak? Bringing together authors from all over the world, Christian authors that have the mind of God, authors that pen the heart of God. And we bring them all from different nations. But today is going to be 4 of us on the set together.
Yes.
And we're going to be talking about a spectacular book, My Pink Stilettos.
Yes.
And you're going to hear all about it, how it was formed, where the vision came from, why it's happening, who are the authors, and some of what has been written in this special book. And so go ahead and share. I'm taking the opportunity to share right now because I want to make sure that all my friends come online. You know, it's my time to shine.
Yeah.
I want them to know that I've been just advertising all the scribes all the time. Come and see the scribes. And now I am getting to be one of those people is going to be talking to me. But most of all, I'm going to just take the opportunity to let the others shine and tell us what this book is about, what they have written, and most of all, our visionary of My Pink Stilettos is here, and we get an opportunity to talk with her on what this project is all about. So take a moment and share. I'm doing that right now. I'm sharing to my friends. I love to share to my friends. There was a piece of time I couldn't share because I was actually banned from Facebook. But now I can share. I'm back in action. When you're banned, you're banned. And they had banned me for, well, I still haven't been able to figure out the reason why I was actually banned. But then now I can share again. So it makes it quite interesting to be back in the land of the living where the scribes dwell. Amen. Hallelujah. It's a glorious day today. I don't know what's happening. What's happening? Could you just tell us in the city where you're coming from as you're joining and coming in and popping in? Which city are you joining from? I'm in the city of The Hague. It's not really cold. The sun is just shining a little. It's a little gray today, but it's great weather. And the leaves are beginning to fall here in the Netherlands. And we heard yesterday that we've been warned by our minister that if we don't get ourselves together in the next 4 weeks, they're going to go back into a shutdown, because even though things had actually died down and simmered down in the Netherlands regarding the pandemic, there's been a a spiking. And for the last 2 weeks, they have seen an increase in cases. And because of that, we have been given a warning that some of the things are, sports and stuff like that, they're going to be putting back some regulations, and churches and opened other organizations working back at home. For some organizations, sports being closed down, amateur clubs, and churches being reduced to 30, back again from 100, and all these other things have been put in place. So we are back in that place today. But regardless of that, it's a beautiful sight outside. It's not too cold, and we still see people walking around. You can still go to the supermarket. Some stores have access to put on our mouth caps. Make sure that we have our nose and our mouth screens. They won't allow you in. Some big stores are not allowing you in. And some stores as well, the workers have been asked to wear their caps. So that's the place where we're at in the Netherlands. I don't know what, Dawn, what's happening, and Loretta and Carolyn, what's happening in the cities where you are.
Yeah, go ahead, Dawn. I see you. Go ahead.
I have to stay muted in case my dogs start barking. I'm in Los Angeles. It is 6 a.m., a little after 6 a.m. here. I don't know what kind of day it's going to be yet, but I'm sure it's going to be beautiful. California has been pretty much under, the quarantine regulations since we started. So, I stay home a lot because I'm writing, I'm doing podcasts, so it's okay with me to be home with my dogs, but I don't really know what's going on.
Talk about the fires. You guys have been having fires everywhere.
Yeah, and the entire West Coast has had massive fires for months. I think we would wake up in the morning and you walk outside and it smelled like a campfire. I mean, it was really bad. Ashes were coming down, but we were safe and we didn't have to evacuate. But, it's very scary this time of year in California. We've always got something going on.
Wow. And Mommy?
Hi, okay. So I am here in East St. Louis, Illinois, in the USA. It is a lovely city, a lovely place. And what's happening here? Yes, we'll still wearing our masks and social distancing. The pandemic is still going on, and so we're careful about how we move around and how we interact. And of course, it is the time of the census, and so it is a huge, big time that affects us here also in East St. Louis to get the word out, to get people involved and activated to be able to do the census, because it's very important to be counted so that we can get the funding that we need. And so it's a very time to be awakened so that we can be counted and be a part. Let our voices be, sounded. Let the sound go out so that we can reach all of those that know, those that don't know, but know how huge it's going to impact our lives to be a part of it. And so It's a really nice day outside. The weather is good, and so the sun is going to shine bright. What this says it's a little cloudy right now, but it feels really good. And so I'm just glad to be a part of East St. Louis. Yay, East St. Louis, Illinois.
Amen. Great, great. All you beautiful people, listen to this. Today is a very special day, and it's special because I'm part of this project. And now I get to say, I'm part of something that has to do with the scribes. And even though that I am the convener and I am the host of Let the Scribes Speak, it's an honor today to actually be able to be a part of this project, that I am one of the contributors of Let the Scribes Speak, this project of the books today. And if you're joining us for the very first time, I want you to know that there's going to be some goodies given away. We're going to be giving away some of these books because we're going to be releasing this book next week. And we are sure going to get you a copy, but you've got to do something for it. You have got to work for it. What we would like you to do is just go ahead and invite 5 of your friends. Get 5 of your friends online. And if you can't have friends and they're only enemies, get them online. Just send them a WhatsApp, send them a messenger message, send them something. And maybe after that, when they finish listening to the broadcast, they will be so happy that you invited them. And they no longer will be your enemy, will be your friend. So go ahead, invite some people, get them online. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to ask my guests today to begin to introduce themselves. First of all, I want you to know that this whole program came out during the shutdown, where we were shut down and locked down at the beginning of the year. And the Lord allowed me to see that there were people who were idle in their homes and people who had begun to lose the art of reading within the body of Christ. And he placed within my heart to begin to motivate people to read again, and as well that I can showcase the books of the scribes, of the things that God had placed in the heart of his daughters and his sons around the nations. One of the things that had enticed me was the Lord brought me back and showed me how I read a lot, and how many times in my life I was delivered by the power of God through reading books. And one of those books had to do with a book that was written by Dr. Morris Sorrello, where he talked about the power of the tongue, how I was delivered, I'm telling you. And I've still kept my deliverance, because that was over. I could have been, I think, 22, 21, 22 years old. And I'm past that age right now. So for the first half of my life, I have been keeping my deliverance from remembering what I was taught in that book and how I applied the principles and how God saved me by my mouth. And I'm still very cautious what I speak. I'm very cautious how I go about with people in terms of the things I express. And if I am not sure about what's something to say, I'm not saying that I don't fall. Sometimes I do, but it's something that I'm very conscious about, that I put my mouth on guard. So welcome, you beautiful women that have scribed, have all contributed to the book of My Pink Stilettos. And I'm happy to have you. So I'm going to start. So if you're joining us, let me know where you're joining us from. All right. Hi, Karen. Hi, Amanda. Great to see you joining us from Guyana. Bless the Lord. If you're joining us from some city, just let me know where you're joining us from, And we would just want to greet you. You know, we're nice people, and greet you and let you know that we're here with you as well. But what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to ask Apostle Larita Rice-Barnes, who is actually the visionary behind this book. And if you're saying, oh, what kind of book are they talking about today? We are talking about My Pink Stilettos. It's a special book. It's going to be released. It's going to be released next week, and we want to begin to talk about it so people can know about this special book. All right, My Pink Stilettos. That's what it looks like, you know, where you have all the authors of the cover and the visionary at the top. So welcome once again. So Apostle Larita, you being the visionary behind this project, welcome and thank you for being here. And as a matter of fact, thank you for, putting a drawing together scribes from all over the world, different backgrounds, different age groups, different types of professions, different colors and creeds. My Lord, it blew my mind. I'm bringing them together for this project. My question to you today: what drove you? What is this project all about? My Pink Stilettos. You see a Pink Stilettos on the book cover. You see yourself, and then you've got all these scribes at the bottom. What is it about my Pink Stilettos?
Oh my God, listen, you got me geeked. I'm like, I'm trying to stay in the chair over here. I'm just so excited to be here with you. The last time I was
Of course,
here.
go ahead and introduce yourself, please.
Okay, awesome. I am Larita Rice-Barnes. I am the wife of Koy-George Barnes, the daughter of Ned and Carolyn Smith. I am just super excited to be here. Mother, author, global political advisor, prayer warrior, intercessor, love people, love community, love building powerful relationships. A scribe. I'm excited to be back on the platform with you. The last time that I was here, we were talking about my very first book that God allowed me to pen, which is Trapped in the System. And today, not even months later, we are here with this book collaboration project, My Pink Stilettos. And I'm so excited to have all of the ladies a part of it, including you, Gale, from the Netherlands. You are here. We have 17 amazing women, literally from all across the globe. These women come from various walks of life. They are from different economic backgrounds and age groups, as Gale has so eloquently said. We all come from different religious backgrounds, but we all seek to inspire women and the girl child and just walk in power. My Pink Stilettos is a compilation of stories talking about survival stories. One of our global ambassadors, she was on the last train that came in to New York during 9/11, when the towers were crumbling down, how God spared her life and saved her. We have the amazing Dawn Whitty that's here with us. Extraordinary stories, testimonies. And my mom, which is a scribe. Many of you know that she's my mom. Some of you don't. But God has allowed her to be a part of this book. We came together from 5 continents, literally 5 continents from across the world to pen this book in the middle of a pandemic. We have from South Africa, South America, North America, from Africa, from Europe to Asia, literally 5 continents. And it's just amazing how God have allowed it to happen. It's a vision that he gave me in 2017. We had some things that happened that halted it. And I believe that it was just the seed. It was germinating to come to life for such a time as this. I wouldn't have met you, Gale. I wouldn't have met the ambassadors and some of the other amazing women that are part of this project. And so God preserved it. He let that seed be planted. He preserved it. He's been watering it. And here we are. Here we are right now, a little over a week away from our official virtual launch. And I am super geeked about my Pink Stilettos.
Oh, thank you, Loretta. I want to know. I will ask. Let me just go ahead, and I want to introduce your mom as well, Carolyn Smith, Rice Smith. Mommy, I wanted to introduce her. Then I will go to Dawn, and then I would come back to you to go really nitty gritty. I want you to go into the gritties of where this thing just came from. So, Mom, Carolyn, just go ahead and just tell us about yourself.
Okay, hello again. And let me first say I am so excited and thank you, Gale, for this platform, yes, that you worked out, yes, so that you can invite everybody here. I'm excited to be here today. And I am Carolyn Rice-Smith. I am a mother. I am a wife. My husband, Ned Smith. I am a grandmother, lovely grandchildren. I am an aunt. I'm a sister. I am an ordained elder, Empowerment of Grace Ministry. I am I just love people. I love people. I love people. And I love to see people just free. I again, in East St. Louis, Illinois. I thank God to be here and just want to be able to reach people and, share my story so that, they can be impacted and they can relate to something about my story that can allow them to be free, to know who they are, and just on and on and on. And I'll just stop right there. So excited.
Okay, Mom, thank you. And Dawn, it's your turn. Just go ahead and tell us about yourself.
Well, thank you so much for having me here. My name's Dawn Earhart Whitty. My computer's broken, so I could only type in Dawn, but I at least could do that. I am the founder of the Desire to Inspire Foundation. I got to meet Larita several years ago, and I told her that anything she does, I will be a part of, because I watch the magic that she has created since I've known her, bringing together people from all over the world. It's a beautiful thing to behold, and I'm so thrilled to be part of this book. I've written some other books too, but it's so wonderful to be in this collaborative effort with these beautiful women, inspiring women from around the world. So thank you for having us, and thank you for letting me be part of this.
Thank you all. And I want you to know that for those of you joining us today, we're going to be talking about My Pink Stilettos. And this all came about where the visionary was Larita Rice-Barnes. And there are 17 authors that have been brought together from different parts of the world to actually scribe this book that we're going to be talking about today. So I want to go back to Larita and ask her to begin. I really want to know where this came from. I want to know, because everybody's been minding their own business in the shutdown, and every nation has got their own type of shutdown system that is happening. What is my Pink Stilettos, and how did it come about?
Yeah, man. Gale, you have a way of taking people real deep. I got some tissue not far from me because I'm not really sure what's going to happen on this set today. But My Pink Stilettos, I got the vision back around 2016, 2017. And God told me that he wanted me to birth out a book, that it wasn't just a book that would feature me, but that this book was to be a collaborative effort. And that this book would include women from across the globe. Literally scared out of my mind because I was trying to figure out where they're coming from. I know people, but part of me is very introverted, and I'm like, I'm cool with laying back and not necessarily being out front or doing a bunch of talking, contrary to what some may believe. But this book was to include women and the power of their stories and their testimonies. And one of the things that God gave me was, he said, testimonies don't expire. Who told you to stop telling your story? He showed me that women had began to shut up their wombs and their mouths across the globe, being embarrassed or feeling guilty or condemned about their stories or where they come from, whether it was gross poverty, whether it was from domestic abuse, whether they had struggled with some type of spiritual deficiency or health issues or divorce or being broken, just those issues that they didn't want to talk about anymore, but their stories were inspiring, and their stories brought healing, and their stories brought deliverance and freedom. And he said, testimonies don't expire. Who told you to stop telling your story? And so from that, he began to first deal with me, because there were things about my life and my story that I had put on the back burner as I began to work and build over the past several years. One, I think kind of going back into this shell, like, I don't want to talk about that anymore. I'm okay. A lot of people know about it, but I don't want to talk about it to the new people. And he said, your testimony don't expire. You need to tell your story. Somebody is going to be set free from the story. And then to add to that, he brought back to my remembrance a message that I preached several years ago. And he showed me, for those that believe in the Bible, he showed me Jesus just being whipped and beaten, and he had all these scars on him. And the Lord said to me, he said, many people, when they have went through their trials and tribulations, and they went down so far, they don't feel like they're worthy. They think that the things that they've experienced in life that was opposition, or some type of roadblock or hindrances, that is the end of their world or the end of their story. Some even have wanted to throw in the towel and call it quits and say it was the end of life. God said to me by his Spirit, he says, those same scars that Jesus had, it did not stop him. He said scars are an indication of where you come from, but not a limitation to where you're going. To say that again, scars are an indication of where you come from, but not a limitation to where you're going. It doesn't matter if you've been divorced. It doesn't matter if you've been left to the side or thrown to the side. If you are like me, you were molested, you were raped, you had dealing with mental abuse or torment, whatever those things, those are scars, but they are not a limitation to where God have called us to go. They are, in fact, just evidence of where we've been. When you think about Judas in the Bible, when he told Jesus, and a lot of people, he catches a lot of flack and slack for that. And when he said, let me see the scars, I actually personally love him asking that question. Because for me, what it says is that it's a validation, not necessarily me doubting, but when the enemy comes to sift me as wheat, when the enemy comes to tell me what I saw wasn't real or what I thought wasn't real, I can say, I saw that. I saw it with my own eyes. And so those scars are war scars. The other thing is that scars are not just physical. Sometimes scars are mental. Sometimes scars is that paperwork that you got from the doctor that did not have a favorable report. Those are scars, because when God heals us, when he washes us, he's the potter that puts together the clay. And when he washes us, when he cleans us off and he gives us beauty for ashes, people don't believe that we've been through what we've been through. When we put on our pink stilettos, I got the pink stiletto here. When we put on our stilettos, I know Dawn, like, I don't wear stilettos. I told her she can sit on the chair and put them on and just look cute. But when we put on our stilettos, when we put on our finest clothes, whatever name brand you like, paint up our face, do our hair, people don't believe that we've endured and traveled through the places that we've traveled through. But when we begin to talk about it, and when we can pull out evidence of where we've been, they have to shut their mouths. Documentation excludes conversation. And so that's, in short, what the book is about: a compilation of stories of women coming together, literally sharing their hearts, sharing their minds. We want to be the foundation for women across the globe. Lastly, God said, my pink stilettos. Then he said, I want to be released in the book in the month of October. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. As you know, all across the globe, people wear pink during this month. We wanted to have this book as a symbol of solidarity, that we are standing with our sisters that have been walking through this journey. We are standing with the families who have lost women and men to breast cancer. And then also this month is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. We're standing with those women as well. So we're just happy to pen this a book in the midst of a pandemic, 17 of us literally from across the globe.
Thank you, Loretta, for telling us where this all come about. And I just finally want to ask you, why pink stilettos? What is about the pink and what is about the stilettos?
The pink one is girly. Girls love pink. The other thing is, as I mentioned about Breast Cancer Awareness Month, God used that as a symbol of solidarity for those who are in this month. Stilettos, because women like stilettos, even if they can't walk in them, they're dreaming about walking in them. They love it. They're like, I want to walk in those 5-inch, 5-inch stilettos. It is a symbol. It's symbolic to the things that women like, that we can find common ground, common thread, intersectionality of our stories, of our life, and we all can find a point of reference that we can connect with.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, because I needed to bring that so that people can understand the pink, the stilettos, amen. And you
Yes.
would have listened to Loretta. She talks about solidarity. She talks about a color of pink, which is a symbol of breast cancer. She talked about violence against women as well. All these things are happening in the month of October, and what a great time to actually release this book to the nations, release it on the airwaves. But like she said, there's 17 authors in this book, 17 scribes, 17 prophetic people, 17 women who would have written something about their stories. And I'm one of those people. So I'm really, really blessed to be a part of this project. Loretta, can you tell us what would we do with some of the proceeds of this book?
Absolutely. So collectively, my Pink Stilettos, all of the authors are coming together. Proceeds from the book we are donating to a breast cancer organization. That's one of the things. Currently, we're working with Real Men Wear Pink. I want to add, Gale, I don't know that I settled in my spirit the fact that men actually get breast cancer. One of our authors have an uncle that passed away, and he had breast cancer along with some other health challenges. The other thing is that we're donating to breast cancer organizations, but we're also donating to organizations that work with women, that work with girls. So sex trafficking, those that are dealing with human trafficking, and those that are living in underprivileged areas across the globe.
Yes, thank you. Because that's it's great that you said that, because each and every person as well that has penned the book can also decide what they want to do with their the proceeds of the books that they would sell within their own sphere of influence and their own proximity, whether it's online, whether it's in your home environment, your church, your business. You can decide as well what you do with the proceeds from your book. Because I want to donate mine to an organization that has to do with young girls and women, whether they be battered or sexually abused or been left for dead or single parenting, that kind of thing. I don't want to take it for myself. I really felt the stirring in my heart to give back to it, because the old story that I had written has to do with a very important woman in the Bible who was designed and purposed to be a princess. She grew up as a princess. She was a virgin, and all of that was shattered by one experience, and she was left for dead. So I felt there were women who were left for dead within the nations of the world. And if people can purchase the book when the copy of it has been released next week, all the links have been released. They're still there. People can pre-order it. All of that money, I want to let it go into bringing people from the dead, bringing women from the dead, bringing women that were abused, battered, and left behind. The Bible said that Tamar was left in a desolate place. It means she was forgotten. I want to bring out women around the world who have been forgotten and been left defiled and have never been spoken of again. So that's a little about what I've written. But I want to talk to Dawn. I want you to, a part of your chapter, it has to do with some things that I think sometimes what happens is that we forget, like Loretta was saying, that we all have got a story. We all have been through something, and the enemy wants to cover our mouth and cause us not to speak about those things, which can actually be a blessing or edify or empower another woman. And you talk about the everlasting aftershocks of an earthquake. My testimony of extraordinary power of love and kindness. Could you begin to tell us, what stirred you to write that, and where is this chapter of the book coming from in my Pink Stilettos?
Again, thank you for having me, Gale. This story was divinely inspired, if ever there was divine intervention into something. Larita had asked me to be a part of the book in August, and I thought, I had until September to figure out what I was going to write about. And then I got a text from her saying, your first draft's due tomorrow. And I was like, I didn't even start writing. I don't even know what I'm going to write. But I had this surprise visitor who came from Tennessee to come visit me. I I hadn't seen him since he was a 6-year-old little boy. And he's now a 32-year-old young man. And because of his visit, I was like, I know exactly what to write about. And it was, about what happened after an earthquake. I was terrified. It was the biggest earthquake I'd ever been through. There was so much devastation. I was terrified. I wanted to move. I had my daughters, I had my cats and my dogs, and I just wanted to get out of California. And because of an experience that I had, it prompted this visit from this young man who is, in my heart and my soul, he is a son to me. And I just wanted to share the power of when we put ourselves out there and help another person, we can touch a life, and we don't even know how profound that impact is until, maybe sometimes never, but sometimes many years later. And I wanted to share that. And I think that it just came at the exact right time, his visit, the book, the deadline. So it was absolutely perfect. And I love being able to share that story.
You're muted, Gale. There you go.
I'm thinking, even as you're speaking, you're saying you had a visit that was not planned, and somebody came in to your home, and that brought a stimulation and awareness and a waking of what exactly you needed to write. I don't want you to talk about all the details, but there's something I'm going to ask you. When you were writing that chapter for my Pink Stilettos, what was the moment in you writing that brought a captivation that I am writing the right thing? I'm penning the right thing. What was that moment?
Oh my goodness.
Don't you start crying, because I cried when I read her chapter.
I've got goosebumps all over. I don't know that I can pinpoint a special moment, but when the young man, his name is Garrison Haywood. If he watches this, I love you so much, Garrison. He said to me that what I did for him when he was 6 years old and his family had influenced him and impacted him his whole life. And I never realized, I just thought this was something that I did. And, I didn't realize it had such a strong impact. And when he told me that, I thought, I need to share this story, because I didn't realize what an impact it had made on him. But it did. And then that impacted me even greater. So I hope that kind of answers your question.
Oh, great. Wow. I can feel the intense of that. The gratitude and the love that you share impacted the life of somebody that it literally came looking for you to actually share that story. Thank you very much, Dawn. I can't wait to read all the stories in this book. For those of you who are joining us today, thank you, Evangelist Sonia. Thank you, Shelley. Thank you, Nancy. Listen, I wanna get this out, and I want to invite you to just go ahead and share, because when the book is out, and you've been nice to us by inviting 5 of your friends, we want to make sure that we share a copy of the book with you. The proceeds of this book is going to so many different organizations that we believe that are going to impact the lives of women, like Loretta spoke about just a while. We are just 4 of us on the set that have actually penned this book. And we are 17 women from around the world, from different walks of life, who have decided to come together and pen my Pink Stilettos. And you're wondering why I'm so ecstatic today, why I'm smiling extra today, why I'm happier today, is because I am one of those people who God allowed to contribute to this project. And this is what it looks like. That looks like my Pink Stilettos, where the visionary of the book is Apostle Larita Rice-Barnes, and along with 16 other women from around the world. I'm telling you, all part of, we got them from South Africa, the UK, the Netherlands. I think Saudi Arabia, did we have somebody from Saudi Arabia as well?
Afghanistan.
Yes. And also women from different parts of the USA that are part of this book. Which other country did I miss, Apostle Loretta?
I think you said Africa, obviously US, So it's 5 continents. We have South
Five
America,
continents.
North America, Europe, Asia, Africa.
5 women coming from 5 continents of the world. Isn't God glorious? I don't think I've ever heard about a project like this before. I don't think I've ever heard about a project like this before. And it shows the magnitude and power of women when they come together. They become unmovable, unshakable. Oh, how do they stick like glue?
Yes.
Because they all have got something to share that unites them. And there's no longer any jealousy and there's no longer any favoritism, but there's just that grace and spirit to share each other's stories and be edified and, if possible, cry with each other. But I want to bring on Mommy because Mommy is special. Mommy is the mother of Apostle Larita, and she's also penned a chapter in this book. And I'm not going to ask Mom her name, not her name. I'm not going to ask Mom how old she is. If she wants to tell you guys, that would be her business. But I think that might be a little polite. But I just want to call her Mom. Her name is Dawn sorry, that's Carolyn Rich-Smith. And she has written a chapter that called Out of Bondage.
Yes.
Out of bondage. And I want to ask Mommy to tell us, what is it all about in a nutshell? What is it out of bondage all about? What should readers be enticing their ears to hear before they actually read your chapter?
Okay, again, I'm so excited to be a co-author in my Pink Stilettos. It is, wow, a long time coming. Out of bondage, what I would want the readers to get from the chapter of my story is, there are choices that we make or decisions that we make in life, and it doesn't always be the right choices. They can land us in places that we can be held captive in bondage from those choices. And so out of bondage, that chapter, I believe God is going to cause them to be able to look at things that maybe they have done in their life, or be able to identify with something that I've written in the chapter that will cause chains to break, to let them know that no matter where they are and what they have done, that there is a place that is designed that they too can come from out of, no matter how long, no matter what people say, because there is a place that's designed that because you started in a place, it's not where you have to end up. But freedom is available because there is an enemy of our soul that have designed a place. The word of God says to steal, kill, and destroy. But because of your choices, that you can become free no matter what, no matter how long you've been there. That hope is part of the book that will speak to you, that you can too be free in mindset. You can forgive yourself. You can live again. That, my God, bondage is a place that you can walk through, but does not have to keep you there for eternity.
Wow. Thank you, Mom. And you're talking about bondage. Bondage is a place that you can walk through, but you don't have to be kept there. I want to ask you this question, Mom. Is this chapter been written out of an experience that you have actually lived? And if yes, what is that?
Yes, it was exactly written from my life. It is exactly, let me say it again, written from my life. It is the story of my life, where I come from to where I am now. It is because I was in a place, let me say it this way, an identity crisis. Living through change, living through a false identity, living through false hope, bound in a place, and let me just throw this out here, of drug addiction. But what I would like most to say about that is, because a lot of times when we're in, let's say, the place of bondage, we can be there for so long, and even within yourself can seem like you can never get out of that place. But God opened up a door. He opened up my mind. He opened up a way that I could believe that I too could come from out of that place. That place for 20 years. My God, my God, my God, 20 years in that place. somebody counted me out. Somewhere in the midst of that place, I was stuck. And maybe somewhere in the midst of that place in the beginning, in some of those years, I didn't even know that I could come out. But God, that's what I want people to know, because sometimes when you're in a place and you're there for so long, and it can be so dark. It can be so dark that you can't see your way out. But God, I had an aunt, God rest her soul, had this saying that she used to talk about a little gleaming light. We called her gleaming. And I want people to know that no matter how dark it gets, a little gleaming light can lead you out of a place that you have created yourself, that people, look, sometimes, listen, we can make choices and things because everybody is not for us. And sometimes the choices that we make that cause us to get to a place, sometimes people will thrive on those things because everybody don't want to see you succeed. Everybody don't want to see you out. But a little gleaming light to keep your eyes on that light can lead you out of a place. 20 years in the place of addiction that I was stuck in, but God. And God allowed me to come out. So I had a story that I needed to share that will give hope to people, that because you're there and you've been there a long time, keep the faith. Don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on some of those that may be stuck in that place, because people do die in that place. But I come to tell somebody that you can be free. And it doesn't matter how long, 20 years.
Oops. Ooh, Mama Rice.
Yes, God.
Mama Rice. You said
yes,
20 years.
20
You've
years.
been stuck in the place, and it had to do with your choices.
My choice.
I want to ask you this question now, because you talk about the ray of light of hope.
Mm-hmm.
Or who assisted you in coming out of that dark place of bondage, dark place of addiction for 20 years?
Well, one of the things a little bit that I'll share is what allowed me to be able to come from out of that place was, and I know it was God's timing, but it was hearing. Being able to hear something that would shatter and break chains. But greater than that, it was love. Love became a tool. It became that catalyst that allowed me to be able to see, to be able to feel, that would turn it around. Love really do. It really do play a part in our life. It was love and being able to hear those things that the enemy didn't allow me to hear, to acknowledge, to see. But love came in and God opened my eyes, and it impacted me to that devil couldn't hold me in a place because love began to matter. That saying go, love lifted me.
Amen. Amen. When you said that, you took me back into a place. I think I was in the USA last year in Ohio, and I was at a conference for ministers' wives and widows, and it blew my mind sitting in a place with 1,500 of these women. Whenever I talk about it, it brings me back into a place of humility, where I saw veterans, I saw women like you, older women who were coming in with sticks, walking sticks, women who were coming on these little small scooters, coming in because they couldn't walk properly, or they couldn't stand long for a long time. They couldn't stand too long for a long time. I saw women with gray hair. I saw women that were stammering. I saw women that lost one of their eyes, or was not hearing in one ear, or were blind and was left impaired. I saw women who were widows. I saw all kinds of women, and I saw scars, and it brought me as a young minister wife to so much humility. And one of the topic last year, the team last year, was love lifted me. So when you said that, it brought me back to a place, because I had to minister on Love Lifted Me to these veterans, to these women who I felt inadequate, that my story didn't make sense because I'm still a young minister wife. And when I listened back at the tape, when I said this could not have been me, it wasn't me that was speaking. It had to be God. And what happened is that during that week, I was in one of the classes, and a woman she was blind and she was a widow, and she was living alone. She was blind and she was a widow, and she was living alone. And she said at the end of the class, she said, I would like to say something. She asked the teacher, who was quite younger than she was, and the teacher was coming from Barbados. And she said, I would like to say something. And she gave her an opportunity. And she said, I want to say, that you all know that I'm a widow, and you all know that I live alone and I eat alone. And she said, one of the things that bothers me is that when I get to church is that I feel alone. Well, I was like, feel alone? What is she talking about? The church is filled with people. After church is finished, people come up to you, people greet you, people offer you a coffee, they sit with you, they chat with you, want to know what happened during the week. Is there any assistance that you need? They love on you. And as a widow, they would even give you special attention because you are a widow and you live alone. But I realized it wasn't the case. And she said, I sit at the table in church and I'm eating or drinking and I still feel alone because I'm impaired. It means that people don't pay attention to me and they leave me at the table and don't converse with me. And I was sitting in that room, at the end of the class, and I began to weep.
Jesus.
And I think it was the next day, I had a minister, and everything that I'd written, everything that I prayed about and I'd gotten, I went on the stage and I could not minister it anymore. And I just started speaking out of my spirit. And that situation came back popping up, and I shared it with them. And I said, how can we say that love lifted me when one of our sisters is eating alone, sleeping alone, and even when she comes into the congregation of the saints, she feels alone.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Love lifted me. And Mom, it resides in my spirit. It brought me back to a year ago when I wept bitterly. I'm telling you, I really wept because I couldn't understand that this elderly woman was feeling alone in the congregation of the saints.
My Lord. And
there were people who stood to their feet. There were shouts and I will try to see if I can send that to you, Mom. Maybe you will enjoy it. I found it. I didn't even know they taped it. It was somewhere in one of the in the International Association of Ministers' Wives and Minister Widows. It's an organization that is 80 years old by a woman who started it and no longer exists. And it has gone over to the globes and the continent. Oh, hallelujah.
My God, my God.
I want to go to Dawn. I want to go to you, Dawn, because all of our scribes are not here today, but we have got 4 of them. For me, it's not really necessary because I talk about my story almost, whenever it pops up in my spirit, but not a detail. I think this chapter they're going to read about me is going to blow some people's mind. But John, I want to ask you about your chapter that you have written. You've written a chapter as well that I deem very important, the everlasting aftershocks of the earthquake. And I'm going to ask Mom this as well. She talked about choices out of bondage. And I'm going to ask Loretta this as well. When you look at what God has asked you to scribe and pen, how do you feel as a woman in the midst of this pandemic that God is using you, Mom, to liberate people from their choices? Dawn, to bring the love of God and to see the legacy of love in the lives of others. And for you, Loretta, being able to be a bridge to the nations of the experiences of different women and bringing them together. What I want to know, what does that do to each and every one of you in your particular circumstances regarding penning this book?
I think anytime we can share our stories, and inspire somebody maybe to put more love into the world or be a little bit more kind to themselves and to others. Anytime you can lift some, your stories, your words, your deeds, we should always do that. And I love getting to share the stories, my experiences, and then, what has happened since, so that, again, inspiration, my foundation is called Desire to Inspire Foundation, because I want my very being to uplift people and to give them hope that life is going to be better and that there's somebody there that loves them. And Carolyn, she is love. I got to meet her. She is my mom too. Larita shares her with me. But you are both the embodiment. That's what love looks like. And I just think anytime I get to share a story that shows me the power, the tremendous power of love, I love being able to share it. So that's why I wrote my chapter, and that's why I do all that I do in the world, is because I do understand the extraordinary power of love and kindness.
Thank you, Dawn. Thank you. Mom?
I believe that my story, even in the midst of a pandemic, would liberate people, excuse me, in a way that they would be able to sit in their own space, and no matter what it is that they've done, no matter what it is that they've gone through, to that word compassion, to be able to love yourself no matter what you've done, and not to be under the rule of thumb of what people's opinion is of you, that you can see yourself outside of where you are when you're not in a good place, but that it would be a good read to be able to identify, or cause one to identify themselves in a place. Because even within the place of bondage, denial plays a great part in it. But the truth will be able to come forth because you can forgive yourself. You can see yourself out of that place, even when you don't believe it. See yourself, but will cause them to see themselves in a whole new light, free. Cause themselves to sit in a space, to be able to have compassion, even those that may not have been through that place, because bondage comes in different forms, but to be able to identify it, but to cause compassion to be birthed out in people where they can love those that may be in a place and not look down on them. You mentioned the word alone, because even in a place where it seems like, you're disregarding everybody or what they're saying, or nobody's listening, that you can get in that alone place and be able to see through the eyes of those that are bound and try to understand and let compassion come alive. It'll help you to be able to forgive. It'll help you to be able to try and understand. So in a pandemic, I believe that it's the tool that will, maybe somebody didn't think of, what I wrote in that way, but it'll open up and shine light into the heart, and to be a pathway to walk them into that place of freedom.
Thank you, Mom.
You're welcome.
Go ahead, Dawn. You can go ahead.
I already went. It's Larita's turn.
Oh, it's Larita's turn. Oh boy, I'm in another place. Sorry.
That's that coffee we didn't get this morning. No. So part of your question to me was about how am I feeling about being a bridge to bring women together. And when you said that, I was like, oh, wow. I didn't send this over to you, so you didn't have the title of my chapter, but it's called Wait for It. And it says your purpose is far greater than what you can see right now. And in thinking of the first time when I set out to do my Pink Stilettos, which was in 2017, many of you already know this story, but me and my family experienced a lot of harassment through police gaslighting. My daughter was abused by a police officer. She was 13 at the time, and it was a lot. And so I put a stick pin in the project, didn't even know if it would come back up again, especially now. Knew that it was in my heart, it was in my mind, it was in my spirit, that it was something that needed to come forth. The magnitude of it, I felt the weight of it. I knew that God wanted to strategically handpick the women. Even when I first put it out in 2017, I got a lot of buzz about it, and people reached out that wanted to participate in the book, but the project was put on hold. This time, God gave me strategic instructions on how to even select the authors, who to reach out to, how to reach out to them. And some of them reached out to me, but they were people that God had showed me. And so I know that the Spirit of God handpicked these women to be a bridge, to bring together such a diverse group of women. It's such an amazing feeling. We have Hina, 20 years old. She's from Afghanistan, living in India. Her family experienced a lot and had to transition for various reasons. You can read her story in the book. On up to Adrija, who was on that last train that came in when 9/11, on 9/11, when the towers were crashing, and how God miraculously saved her life. We have Tori, who's traveling through places in life and coming from this background, having divorces, and now walking into this marriage that she describes, and that you can see the harmony that they have in their relationship. We have Taylor J. In her process, Taylor's mom being murdered when she was young, and how she's had to filter through different things and try to be a mother to her children. We have Iris, who's stepping into her purpose and coming from places. Carmen, who is a survivor of breast cancer, is also one of the authors of the book. Pamela, with her story. We have Shamila in South Africa, Miss South Africa 2018, I believe, 19, who is doing great things around the world, created a project for the girl child, for their menstrual cycles, which Dawn, you and I, we've talked about this. Because it keeps them out of school. We have my mom, Elder Carolyn Smith, out of bondage. You heard her story. We have my sister, Dawn Earhart Whitty, and her story, and how Garrison inspired her to write, and the timing. Moving along, we have myself and my chapter just as being the visionary for this project. Moving along, who else? We have Stacy. We have two Stacys. We have Stacy Massey Logan, who talks about that her birth name is Larita, spelled a little different, but now when she got adopted, that her name became Stacy, and how God used that as a drawing card for her to be a part of this book. We have Stacy Bryant, Boss Stilettos. She's now walking through her journey of cervical cancer, and how God has miraculously sustained her, and how she's coaching people all over. We have Yolanda Gaden, who's now everything's moving so fast for her. This is like her fourth project. She has a fifth one, collaboration book that she's a part of. All of these amazing women. Deanna, can't leave Deanna out. She and I, we traveled to Uganda together last year and had a blast. We watched the power of God just move. And then we have our convener, our host, Gale Koy-George, who's also one of the authors from the Netherlands. No, I couldn't have put this project together no better than what God have done, to be touching 5 continents, for the project to come together in such a short time, for all of us working together, and just for the stories to flow. As I was reading everybody's story, I cried, I laughed, I had gut busting laughter. I literally felt like I went to therapy. I felt like I had came out of a session. I walked away like, yes, I'm an expert on that subject. The stories are absolutely amazing as I was able to read through them. And it was like you guys talked. Gale, Dawn, Mom, it's like y'all all had a conversation along with the other authors on how the stories just flow from one chapter to the next. I cannot wait until you guys physically get your hand on the book. Yes, I'm looking at this. I'm making sure I didn't leave out anybody's name. Nope. I got everybody. But I can't wait until you guys physically get your hand on the book. I got the proof of the proof here. I got my proof copy a week ago Sunday, and I am just excited about this book. For those that order the book, I have these pink stilettos. It's only a few, so you might as well place your order so you can get these with your books. It's actually a cell phone holder. You guys have seen this. It holds your cell phone. Super excited about this. And I was like, oh, wow, we got to give these out. So once again, coming together in the midst of a pandemic to pen such a powerful book and listening to all of the stories that the women are sharing, I'm absolutely elated to be the visionary for this project. And I'm so excited that God entrusted me to have the women in this project, that they were handpicked specifically for certain things, to bring together all of our differences so that we can be the foundation of women and the girl child across the globe.
Thank you very much, Apostle Larita Barnes. I just want you to put up back that stilettos and that book again.
Yes. Here. Woo! Yes.
All right. So if that's what it looks like, the pink stilettos, and when she just got a few copies of those, a few of those stilettos, those pink stilettos. So when you order your book, you get a stilettos, and it's actually a telephone holder where you can actually hold your telephone. I just want to go ahead. You said.
I didn't, but I want to add Pastor Brandy Rojas. I forgot to add her in North Carolina, who's actually working on publishing. She has some books that she has out. I know for some of you, it's your very first time. I am so excited that God entrusted me to do this project. Gale, I can't tell you how elated I am for this to be part of your first of many to come. I am so excited about that, man. It's giving me life to walk with you guys on this journey with my pink stilettos. I got my pink stilettos.
Thank you. I am, it's like I'm on the set with only 3 of you, and that means there are 13 more scribes and authors around the world who have written and come together to read my pink stilettos. I want to put it up back for you, those of you joining us, so you get an opportunity to see what it looks like. This is what my pink stilettos look like. It's a book that has been written and penned by 17 different women around the nations, 5 different globes around the world. Sorry, not globes, continents around the world.
Yeah.
And they've come together from Asia, Africa, Europe, North America, and they've come together and penned this, and Europe, and penned this book called My Pink Stilettos. It talks about experiences. There is joy. I was told by Apostle Larita, some you would cry, some you would hysterically laugh, and some would get you into a place where you're thinking, what can I do next? What is the purpose of my life? So you have got to purchase this book. You have got, and I want you to know as well that some of the proceeds, we are sending them to different organizations. We're going to be sending some of the fundings and the proceeds to different places that has to do with women. And I think, Apostle Larita, you mentioned one of, could you talk us about, tell us about that one we're going to be sending to, about men breast cancer?
Yeah, Real Men Wear Pink. We are partnered with Courtney Jacobs of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Part of our proceeds will go to that campaign. We'll make our lump sum donation on October 31st from my Pink Stilettos. So those that are choosing how much ever they want to give, and then we'll give that donation. We're also giving towards human trafficking and sex trafficking organizations. I know you, Gale, you're giving all of your proceeds to help support women and the girl child that have been abused on many different fronts. And so, and Dawn, she's given her proceeds. My mom, just all of us. So we're coming together collectively as one so that we can donate. Yes, the book, it will be on Amazon. You can look for the book on Amazon to purchase. You can also go to Eventbrite right now and make your pre-sale order. Type in Real Men Wear Pink or My Pink Stilettos Global. If you type in My Pink Stilettos Global on Eventbrite, it'll bring up a link and you can place your order now. We have these pink stilettos. And so while supplies last, we'll give them out. I'm hoping more to get in so that all of us can have the pink stilettos and sit it on our counters or desktops or whatever. I love you guys.
Yes. Loretta, can you do one more thing for me? Can you just get those links available so I can just put them up as well?
Yes.
I tried putting up one just now and it's kind of too long.
Okay.
I don't know. Just put it up. While I ask the final question to Dawn and Carolyn, what are your final words to those that are watching and joining us in Let the Scribe Speak today?
My final words would be gratitude. I'm grateful for this opportunity. I'm grateful for knowing Larita and being able to be part of this collaboration. And, you know, when we come together and we all are trying, you know, putting love and kindness into the world, we can move mountains and we can make magic happen.
Thank you. Thank you. And Mama Carolyn, what would you want to say to us? Everybody, remember, I want you to know that people are watching all over the world, and people are going to go back and watch this broadcast. People are going to share this broadcast, and people will get an opportunity to know that you actually were on air and you were talking about something. What do you want to finally say to them?
I would say I thank you again, Gail, for being able to be on your platform, and Dr. Larita Barnes for the opportunity to co-author My Pink Stilettos, and God for the opportunity. I would like everybody to know that you don't have to stay in, you know, where you've been. That there is a way out that's designed for you. I would like for them to know that, listen, no matter the pain, no matter the darkness, no matter the ugliness, that there's a place called out of bondage, and that God can use your story. Don't let people keep you in a place to hold you to your past where God have designed for you to come out, that you can live, you can thrive, and you can touch somebody else's life, that they too can have hope and faith, that they too can come out of any place that it was designed to hold them captive, that place out of bondage.
Oh, hallelujah. Thank you. Thank you. I've just placed you can actually follow what's happening on this regarding this book, My Pink Stilettos, by actually visiting the Facebook page My Pink Stilettos Global. If you check out My Pink Stiletto Global, you'll be able to just see what is happening, see when it's going to be the launch, all these different things. The broadcast is going to be there, and all the broadcasts around the world talking specifically about this book. The authors, you will get an opportunity to meet them and hear what they're saying. And it's going to be a blessing if you can just go on that page. All right. My Stilettos, My Pink Stilettos Global on Facebook. You can also follow stuff that is happening on Larita Rice-Barnes Facebook page on as well. And I think I've seen something else, Apostle Larita, that you had. Is there any place else that they can actually? Okay, I got my global. Yeah, my pink global.
Yeah, on Eventbrite.
Feeling alone. Oh yeah. Okay, that's it. Okay, and my global. There's one more. Yes, My Pink Stilettos Global on Eventbrite. All right. Yes. If you go there, you will be able to pre-order the book. All right, am I right? If you go
Yes.
there, you'll be able to pre-order the book. So if you go on My Pink Stilettos Global on Eventbrite, you should be able to pre-purchase the book there. And like we said, we want this book to go all over the world. It's going to be a special project, and it's not about us getting rich, but it's us affecting the lives and the world in which we live. So once again, I want to thank you, Loretta. If there's anything finally you would like to say, thank you for being on this program. Thank you, Dawn. Thank you, Carolyn. And we're just a part of the 17 scribes around the world, 5 continents, who have come together to pen this very special book, My Pink Stilettos, a book of the experiences, a book of the testimony of people who have come from all over the world. And that is what it looks like. And we're going to be launching this book next week, and you are invited. So check out all the different websites, Loretta Barnes' Facebook page, the Eventbrite Facebook page, My Pink Stilettos, and you can also go on to a Facebook page, My Pink Stiletto Global, and you can also follow what happens there, when the launching is going to be, and you'll be able as well to pre-order the book from those web pages.
Yes. Yes. And once again, just excited for all of you all that are a part of the book, for everybody that tuned in with us today, to everybody that will purchase the book, so that you will be a part of a movement that's bigger than all of us, that we are donating to breast cancer organizations and organizations that affect the woman and girl child. So love y'all, love y'all, love y'all. So excited about the stories. I can't wait until y'all get your hands on the book. And just read through the stories. It's gonna be amazing. When you all are purchasing, make sure you go on to Amazon and fill out your reviews and all of that. We're just excited to have you guys as part of our global community.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So go out on Amazon when you purchase, fill out your reviews, purchase the book, pre-order the book on Eventbrite. Go and check out Apostle Larita Rice-Barnes' Facebook page and the global community of My Pink Stilettos. And you can pre-order the book. You can get to read all about what is happening. And we can't wait to get our hands on the first copy that comes out. Once again, thank you, Mom, for being here. Thank you, Dawn. And thank you, all you beautiful listeners, for tuning in today around the world. And once again, to our lovely visionary of this all My Pink Stilettos, Larita Rice-Barnes, thank you for coming on the platform once again on Let Us Scrap Speak. We love and adore you. And we're saying to you, keep eyes out and have a blissful week. Keep your heads up. And like Mom said, even in the midst of you making wrong choices, there is a way out. And I believe that this week you're going to have a way out of whatever that has been keeping you down. God bless you and keep you and cause his face to shine upon you. And once again, bye-bye. And thank you for being on the platform. Let the Scribes Speak.